what changes over the course of your career have you seen that will help industry to improve the safety and the quality of their medicines moving forward? And for instance, as some examples, we have like digital transformation and data gathering or machine learning. So really, what I'm asking is, what are some of the more cutting edge things you're seeing that will improve in the future?
You make a very good point. You know, when I got started in this industry in the labs, the first time I entered my lab in 1982, there was one HPLC in the lab, one, and it had no screen. You know, it was I could not say how it worked, but it worked with without any computerized systems. Now
Wow.
you have dozens of computers everywhere in the labs, and we are tracking down to the materials, really to the ppb level now, right? While when I got started in this industry, we were maybe at the milligrams. Then we went through the ppm. Now we are at the ppb level with LCMS analysis more and more. So I think, yes, the digital revolution has been a continuous path across the years, but now is accelerating definitively very strong for, I would say, 5 to 6 years. And this really brings this industry to the next level. Why? Because actually it's not because really about digitalization and about paperless plans. It's also about that. But I think that the main added value that is coming in our industry is really into being able to analyze data. It's about data analytics. And it's about putting in parallel and analyzing in parallel correlations between production data, markets data, pharmacovigilance data, complaints data, QC data, and to bring all these together and to try to make some predictions, to switch from being reactive, which we are really very good at, to being proactive, meaning anticipating, being able to detect, to predict, being able really to make our processes evolve real time. And this is not yet 100% what's happening everywhere in this industry, but for sure in a couple of years, this is what will take place. And we are going to see this revolution moving forward, benefiting to all, by the way, to the guys working in the industry, but also to regulators, and the most important to me, to our patients, because we will have to manage and correlate a multitude number of data, which will really help improving product efficiency and patient safety. And this is our stake and challenge, is to make this happen rather sooner than later.
So this is, you were just at the PDA FDA conference in Washington a few weeks ago. I had an opportunity to meet you there and talk to you. There was a talk, I won't name names or name the talk, but there was a talk that talked about turning kappa around and calling it PACA. It should be preventative action and corrective action. So is this sort of your vision too? Is what I think I hear you describing, the industry being less reactive. So that would turn kappa around if you're being less reactive, less correcting, and more preventative. Do you agree with that idea to turn kappa around and start calling it PACA?
I am fully aligned with this vision, right? And I think it's what we are all looking for is really to go beyond Kappa to PACA, but also to go beyond PACA through really being so proactive that our prevention will be totally embedded into our development programs and into our quality by design programs, right? We want also to bring data very much upfront in the value chain of our products, and to build design spaces which are extremely exhaustive and really containing quality by essence into the design of our products. So yes for PACA, but PACA is only a step moving forward. I know there is even more brilliant future moving forward to my viewpoint.
I see, right. So it's sort of like it's still an evolution, right? Where you have maybe at the beginning you have GMP, and then we get to Kappa, Paca, and then something even better in the future, right? So, as part of this with the data, are you seeing, and this is great because you have this unique perspective of really working on both sides of manufacturing and quality. But are you seeing with the data and the metrics coming on board, are you seeing more communication between the quality, at least in your company, between quality and manufacturing, so that it is more of a proactive and less of a reactive situation for quality?
So definitively, yes. What we are trying to do in our companies, but in many companies, is to break the silos, and not to have systems which are separate, meaning manufacturing system, quality system, pharmacovigilance system. No, we are trying to rethink and rebuild our ambition with platforms which are totally transversal, where data are totally shared across the board through the different functions, where quality data don't belong to quality, but to the community, where production data belong also to the same kind of community. And yes, we are making a good progress. And by the way, all our companies are trying to build modern and robust and digital quality management system. But it's not only quality management system, it's overall a management system. It's a company management system, right? Which contains all those data all together. And yes, I see more and more collaboration because now our platforms are collaborative platforms and they are designed for that, definitively.
Right. That's good. So, one of the things we think about moving forward, and especially in the last few years, the challenges we face in the last few years, is there anything changing or anything that you can envision that could potentially hinder this continued focus on preventative or proactive quality, this breaking down of silos? Do you see any trends recently or trends that you were been unable to reverse prior that could stymie this effort to break down these silos and have this proactive quality organization?
I think it's a lot about culture, right? Because all those things are systems, ways of working. Okay, but further, we need to have the right culture at the company level. And what is really important is to embed the quality culture into the genes, into the overall culture of the company, to really benefit from the added value of those new ways of working and technologies. And so we are working a lot in our companies, and it was, by the way, one of the important theme of the PDA conference last week in DC. It's about, yes, how can we develop and really make our quality culture stronger? We are trying first to measure by I would say interesting ways the culture of the company in order to see where we stand and what does quality culture really mean. So we are all striving, all companies and Sanofi fully as well, developing good programs in order to develop this culture of quality across companies, really to benefit from all what is brought by the technology. Then yes, there are some difficulties which are related to our environment as well, which is not always an easy environment. I'm thinking mainly of cyber security, which is a threat for our industry as for many other industries. So we have to deal with that. We have to deal also more and more with securizing our upstream supply chain with our suppliers. And we know we have seen during COVID pandemic how difficult it has been to master and to secure our overall supply chain. we also have to work more and more on what our customers and patients are looking for, which is more and more purity and security regarding our product. So you know now that we are tracking our materials for impurities, not at the milligram level, but not only at the ppm level, but more and more at the ppb level. Think of the nitrosamine programs which are developed everywhere in order to track down those impurities really up to the ppb level. So it's technically complex, but we are striving for that. So yes, there are some threats on our industry, but we can also say that digital will help us in a way mastering and securing this supply chain or those supply chain issues.
So what is the, I'm going to go a little off script. What's the burden upon a quality unit when you do have a supply disruption and the company needs to make fast decisions? Obviously, the company needs to keep producing the product, but you also have normal procedures that you go through to switch to a new supply chain or something like that, or a new vendor. Well, but what does quality do when you're in an emergency situation like the past several years, and a lot of changes have to be made rapidly to keep the business producing? How do you guys respond to that? Is the burden on quality to just step up and ensure that these transitions could be made smoothly?
No, it's a very good question. Yes, it's a big problem for the industry overall. So within Sanofi, we have been working for quite a long time on this topic. First of all, by trying to double source as much as we could components, APIs, excipients, but also drug products in what we have been calling the mono sourcing exit program. So we have worked a lot on this in order to try to double source, to double qualify, to really have alternatives to our suppliers. It's big, and it brings a lot of burden, yes, on the units, including the quality units, because it brings a lot of complexity in the management of our facilities to utilize double sourcing. Again, we have to double qualify, double validate. It's complex.
Yeah.
And to be clear, Sanofi has the entire industry has not managed to be 100% double sourced in all domains because it's simply not possible. It's not realistic.
Right.
So we have been really working on risk analysis in order to understand where it was important to get double sourced. And we have gotten a lot of success there, which has resulted, by the way, in really a strong supply chain, even in the course of the pandemic, because we have been able to go on manufacturing and delivering our drug products to our patients in a very, very smart way. It has been a great effort, of course, from all our teams and a lot of involvement from our employees, but it has demonstrated to be successful. Then, are we there yet? Have we secured 100% of our products? No. And will we do that ever? I believe no. I believe nobody can.
Right.
But yes, thanks to good analytics, thanks to being more and more agile, thanks also to the help from regulators who have really, in many ways, helped us in simplifying under those circumstances some approval processes. We have been able to move forward, and I'm very happy to say that I participate to a group of people which have developed a program called One Voice of Quality, and this is with many of my peers from the top 25 pharmacos, the chief quality officers. We have developed, I would say, a discussion and an interaction with many health authorities in order to make our authorities understand that we really need their help to try to simplify our regulatory landscape and to make things a little bit more simple, rather than submitting many PAS or CBE or pre-approval changes, whatever we call those processes, really trying to make them more simple, more agile, and this will help. This will help because this will help really bringing our products to our patients at the time they need the products. So we are moving forward. It's not done yet. We are still discussing with many authorities, including the US FDA. But I see more and more interest and more willingness to help us moving forward.
So just to be clear, this double sourcing, that do you think the pandemic is what started this trend, or was this something Sanofi was doing prior to 2020?
No, we were doing that prior to the pandemic because we had understood from about 10 years ago the threat, of seeing suppliers, stopping from one day to the other supply. But really, pandemic in this field, as in many others, has been an accelerator.
That's right.
And it has helped really the entire ecosystem understand this threat and develop actions moving forward.